Hello beautiful people, it's Veronika and welcome back to my channel. We got another travel vlog for you today. We actually headed out to Big Bend National Park in Texas. We spent 2 days and 3 nights camping and hiking, and we also explored Terlingua and Marfa. So follow along if you want to see our itinerary and hopefully get some inspiration for yourself. On the first day of traveling, before getting into Big Bend, we actually stopped at Marfa, Texas to check out the Chinati Foundation, which is Donald Judd's artwork that is done in an old army base. And it was pretty cool. We weren't there for too long, so we didn't get to see all the exhibits. We were traveling on a Thursday, so a lot of the stuff in Marfa was closed, but we did get to check out these permanent installments, which was cool. And afterwards, we checked out the infamous Prada store, which is about 30 minutes out of Marfa. Of course, the site is famous on Instagram, so we had to get a couple of pictures, and after that, we headed out to Big Bend. Once we entered the park, we went straight to our campground because we only had an hour until sundown, and we camped at Chisos Basin Campground, which is the most popular campground in Big Bend because it is central to everything, and of course you have those beautiful mountains around you. We were struggling with our tent because we've never made this one before, but we figured it out, and then we basically made dinner, had some beers, and relaxed until our big hike tomorrow. Good morning from Big Bend. We got up before dawn because we wanted to take on Emory Peak. We went straight to the trailhead at the visitor center, and look at us, we were so happy and hopeful as this was our first hike of the trip, and I wanted to make one of the harder hikes the first one. We start at Pinnacles Trail, which was almost 4 miles to Emory Peak Trail Junction.
My bear protection.
After the 5-mile hike ascending the walls of the Chisos Basin, we finally reached the start of Emory Peak, which is another 1.5 miles to get to Emory Peak. Now, the All Trails app does classify this hike as being difficult, and I would agree with that rating. It was definitely challenging for my cardio health, and the elevation gain was a killer, but I definitely recommend challenging yourself to do this hike because the views are awesome. We went early in the morning so that the sun wasn't as harsh, and we brought a lot of snacks and water to push ourselves through. Take as many breaks as you need and do what needs to be done to get the hike over with because the top is beautiful, and I definitely recommend. We made it to the top of Emory Peak. Started our hike way down there, way over there. This is where we ended. Beautiful views. How long was this hike? 5.5 miles. We made it to the bottom. Took us 5 hours and 15 minutes roughly. Now we got more. After having some snacks at the visitor center, we drove down to Langford Hot Springs to nurse our aching joints and muscles, and this drive was about 45 minutes to get to the trailhead. We saw some trinkets for sale from a local in Mexico at the start of the trailhead, and then we also saw the historic buildings, the bathhouses, and things like that. So there were definitely a lot of informational signs down the trail to get to the hot springs.
Whoa!
We wrapped up day 1 at camp and on to the next day.
Hello. Hi.
On day 2, we took on Lost Mine Trail, which is about a moderate hike for 5 miles round trip. And of course, I had to sport my own artwork on my dad hat here, which I've created and I am selling on Etsy. Link down below, little plug. Now back to Lost Mine Trails. We actually got to see a little bit of wildlife on this trail and the views were stunning with the sun coming up. I really enjoyed this hike. It was definitely easier than Emory Peak, and I would say I actually preferred it more because of the views. They reminded me of the views you see at Angel's Landing and Zion National Park, but of course Lost Mine Trails is a way easier hike than Angel's Landing.
We made it to the top of Lost Mines and it is beautiful. Took us about an hour and a half roughly to get up here and it was pretty chill. Some rough moments, gets your heart rate up, but nothing like Emory Peak, and definitely recommend. After this we're gonna go to Santa Elena Canyon. Last day at Big Bend. Let's go. We made it!
We then headed out to Santa Elena Canyon, which took us about an hour to get to from the Chisos Basin Campground.
Y'all, this is beautiful. So peaceful. Reminds me of like a river jungle. I'm all by myself right now. Not too high of traffic. And I love the views.
After Santa Elena Canyon, we headed out to check out Terlingua Ghost Town, which is a popular roadside stop a lot of people take before Big Bend. Terlingua is called a ghost town because it used to be a mining town until they went bust and everyone left their homes abandoned. Now it's a town that offers lodging and has interesting little restaurants like the Starlight Theater, which is popular for its live music and vibes, and this barbecue place that we checked out, which was super delicious and much needed. The town also has art galleries, and we checked out the souvenir shop next to the Starlight Theater, which honestly had better souvenirs than the visitor centers inside Big Bend. After doing 3 things in one day, we went back to the campsite to make dinner, rest, and play card games, and just enjoy our last night at Big Bend. On day 3, it was time to check out of our campsite, so we went ahead and packed it all up. Peace. Thank you, Chisos Basin, for your beautiful views and your good vibes. And then we headed out to check out the fossil discovery exhibit before leaving Big Bend. It was really cool to learn about the fossil discoveries people have made at Big Bend, as well as the history of the park. And I definitely recommend checking out this quick little exhibit. I love museums, I love learning, and anything to do with dinosaurs, I'm down. We made this stop because it was on the way out of the park from Chisos Basin's Campground, and I'm really glad that we did. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful or at least entertaining, and if you did, feel free to give this video a like. Look forward to future travel vlogs from me when I'm able to travel, and in the meantime, if you haven't, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I like to make videos on lifestyle vlogs, art, fashion, traveling, whatever I'm feeling, to be honest. I just like to make videos for fun, and I would love it if you joined the family. Until next time, bye!